All right. Looks like we're live, team. We should be doing some amazing things today. Let's get over to our main screen. Bop, drop. Boom. There's our deal. All right, look at this little retracement we've got here off our demand zone. A massive gap from the bomb drop, FOMC. Bop. That'd probably be a sell. So we got a strong high here.
Today's on FOMC, right? It's non-farm.
What's it called?
Was it non-farm? FOMC was yesterday.
Oh, NFP. Oh, well.
Let's see. It was non-farm, yeah.
Cool. That was weak. Yeah. So this low didn't make a new high, weak low, right? So structure.
Right.
Because we made a higher low, we need to make a higher high. We failed to do so. So in all of this madness, our objective should have been this low at least, and these relative equal lows on the higher time frame. Which brings us right into this drop change in the state of delivery that took out the previous high. This was the sell to buy. And since we'd already mitigated everything here, we had to go all the way to the origin. All the way to the origin of that. And then the next one would be here. Right? And then the next one would be here, since this is technically a strong low. Knowing what we know, now we have our internal strong high that should continue to push price lower. All of this could be inducement for these change in the state up here. So we had our internal POC right there kind of guided for us. Why does it do that? Point of control there. Here we have our New day open up here, and that's also a POC internal. So we can go internal POC, and then we'd have to get into the minutia of that. So making it relevant for right now and keeping it educational, what just happened. So this was the low that put in this high. So where this structure broke, we want to get the buy to sell that happened before we took out this low. This candle took out this low. So what happened before this candle took out this low? We did a buy to sell here. So this is our V-shaped reaction on the smaller time frame. And where that flip happened would have been right about here. So now we see where the flip happened. We're in our zone. Now we can go into the 1 minute and see where we can get an entry, if we get an entry. That'd have been a good entry right there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it on the...
Barely, like, 15 point.
Like, if that's what you see, boom, you want to sell that candle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you sell anything above that, your stop is only 14 points, which is pretty manageable. Yeah. Boom. Failed to make a new high. Took out the low. Transition. And it kept going. This would have been our first demand. Slid through that demand, leaving a fair value gap. Here's our second entry. Right? This low made the high. This is the pullback that broke this high. So this is our V-shaped reaction. Since it just obliterated that and left a fair value gap, this is kind of that unicorn setup, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right about there. Breaker plus fair value gap. Sell. Pretty neat. And then we're all the way back down. We ripped through this one, right? What did this leave behind? Oh man. Fair value gap. Breaker. Fair value gap. Good entry. I don't know if we hit something over here though. Ooh, unmitigated change of direction. V shape. Boom, boom. That took the high. This is where we flipped the 10 a.m. Is that strong enough to support price back up? Are we bullish? We're bullish to a point of mitigation, right? And with this pullback and break of structure, this is our V shape. Inside the V shape, there's a V shape. And right now we're trying to decide if we're going to keep moving down to lower and lower targets. Because this leg here is pretty much mitigated. We mitigated the flip. There's 3 points, right? The POC, the flip, and the origin. In this leg, we can consider this inducement. Took out the inducement. So we had a change in the state of delivery down here. We had a low, high, lower low, higher high. But it happened in this candle. Kind of that was just a string. Just went straight through. There's our inducement. We just swept equal lows into this change direction. This flip. Came back into our breaker situation. This would be the first point of resistance you'd want to hold down, hold price down. Are we bearish?
You have 3 more minutes till 11 o'clock. It would be interesting if it closes above that previous low at 11 o'clock. It would be interesting if it closes above that previous low. Nope, did I hear myself?
All right, I'm going to have to listen for my audio and see what happens with my audio, because this will be like another audio check I haven't seen. Listen for my audio and see what happens with my audio, because this will be like another audio check I haven't seen. It's clean. Audio's clean. So that's good. Now we're looking for lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Do you want to go over your AM trade here, somewhere in here?
Yeah.
Is there a software I can hand over the cursor to you?
Okay.
I'm just curious. Is there a software?
Let's see.
Because in companies, like your IT department will be like, all right, I'm going to take over your computer now.
Yeah. Since we're on Discord, I don't think that there's that possibility.
Let's see. So there is a program. If you've got a home router acting as a de facto firewall, the default. Ooh. Team viewer, any desk. Oh, Zoom. We could do a Zoom, and then Zoom you can.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can have full access to the screen on Zoom.
Right. Yeah.
Look, we used our 10 o'clock here price as a resistance. Let's drop the
And the
1
price
minute.
down 11 o'clock.
See, if we're looking left, we're going to be trying to buy here, buy here, buy here. It wouldn't be crazy, I don't think. Because there's a fair value gap there. But like again, here we go, right? Like V-shape, inducement, lower, obviously inducement. This V-shape flip happened here. This whole leg's mitigated.
Yeah.
So like either somewhere in here we go bullish, which we'd have to see like a pretty big setup occur for that to happen. What are your thoughts? Tell me more. Share something.
I have a feeling that it probably is going to go look for lower prices just because of the strength of that 15-minute candle. I certainly would not feel comfortable looking for longs at this point. This might be a nice area to right here at 958.
I just turned you up. Okay, say again.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were soft, so I
Yeah,
just
okay.
wanted to make sure
Sorry, I
that.
was saying it might be a nice area here if it was if you're looking for longs with a wick test on the 5-minute. But personally, I don't think I'll be very comfortable looking for longs, especially with the strength of that massive 15-minute rejection.
Yeah, I'm sure we're looking for a monthly
Right.
point of mitigation.
Yeah. I mean, we're below previous month's low,
Yeah.
previous week low.
So we had that monthly fair value gap.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it would have been nice to look for shorts after that 15-minute candle formed.
Yeah.
And look where, when you make the wick on the top, try to enter. It was possibly almost a wick test on the 15.
Here or here. Internal POC.
Yeah, they're almost, yeah, exactly. So that could have been a nice entry, but I didn't see it fast enough. You've at least gotten, I don't know, what,
A decent enough entry.
Oh man, that's like 60 points.
Yeah, so it closed here, so we'd have missed
By a bit.
my bit. It's all right. Well, obviously we can see the transition happened here, so we go through, we miss it. Figure sure this probably dumped and then came up and down, and then we came up, broke it again. So the transition is here. So let's look on lower time frame, say 15 second. Oh yeah, beautiful. The 10's holding us down. We make a new low. We smash that low, leaving fair value gap.
Enter in the fair value gap.
Yeah. And then if we do, I don't know, from here to here, that's a 22 point stop. It fits into the 25 point parameter.
Yep.
This is a low time frame strong high.
Agreed.
Yeah, inducement, sweeps inducement. Now we're waiting to see if demand holds here. Price is in a demand zone. Just consider this high strong. We broke it here, so the pullback was here. So the buy zone is here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let me walk through that one more time for the viewers. This is the high that put in the low. We break that high here. Where's the pullback that broke the high? Well, inside that, there's a secondary pullback right here, right? The last thing it did before, boom. Equal lows. Why not take out these equal lows? Let's call them liquidity. Bam. So now we have our liquidity run in a buy zone that took out a high. So now we're waiting to see if we can take a buy off the demand here. So if we were to buy right here, our stop...
Are you in the 15 second?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we buy here, our stop is 10 points. And we can take our usual set 25 point stop and we can take off a lot. Inside this wick is the buy to sell that took out this low. And we did not make it up here yet. So this is inducement. We just made equal highs. So if this makes a new low, this is a strong high with a new inducement. Yeah, so it might be just having to wait for or use a zoom. Right. Oh, we're still in it. Still holding.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a 3R? Ooh, that's ugly. This just came up. Internal POC there. Kind of makes a weird breaker happen right here. We don't need that. What happened to it? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it seems to be wanting lower prices.
Yeah.
The sellers are definitely in control. Yeah.
That was to test out that demand zone.
It was a risky area because we were really in the middle of the range.
No, dude. We're in OTC. Optimal trade, OTE, optimal trade entry.
Oh man, especially if you're looking for longs.
Looking for longs in all the wrong places. Looking for longs. Yeah, so
We're so different. I'm short biased. I'm always thinking that price will go down. And you tend to be more of a long trader.
I like to go long. I don't know. It's stupid psychological connection to higher prices make money. I don't need that. Higher prices make money. Higher prices make money. Some kind of weird process in your brain that makes you think that that matters. Make money both directions. So we're seeing some opportunities here. This wouldn't, or you wouldn't want to buy anything below or above this yellow line. So anywhere below. Now we're looking for where's the actual change in the state. Well, since we didn't take any highs until here, this would have been our origin, right? This is our V-shaped origin retest, already mitigated. But then we broke that high right here with this pullback. So in here, there's no wick. So the next possible spot, I would think, would be right about there. It looks like the shorts might want to play out. I don't know. Like this one was so clear over here, and we see this like low, high, holds, inducement, makes the low, sweeps inducement, holds, demand right here where we changed in the state. Let me be a little bit brighter and zoomed her in for the kids. All right. Right, so we had this low put in, we had this high, we held the low, we failed to make a new high, make a low. Then we come in, there's a little bit of a bump, 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 break. And then we come in, we create inducement, fail the high, sweep inducement, back into the flip origin, whatever happened in here, 5 second, let's say. And then we come and we take the highs. So we're looking for these inducement style places that'll take us back underneath. So we get liquidity, do an origin, and we break the high. Where's the area that broke the high? Right here. Right here. So we're looking for those changes in the state. What happened right there? Same as up here. We made the high, low, lower high. We sweep inducement into the origin flip, break the high. We create equal lows in the process. We sweep the lows, and right now we're in some kind of a Wyckoff accumulation, it looks like. But if we track it, obviously we have a low, high, higher low, lower high, equal lows, lower high, take the lows, lower high, lower low, lower high. And yeah, these have swept the low. This is inducement for this flip. Unless we make a new low here, then there'll be an origin inside here as we make new lows.
Yeah.
Hopefully that order flow makes sense. See, now we're sweeping the inducement into the internal POC. You know what could be cool is like I enjoy doing this narration, but while I'm narrating, I have a hard time with the execution. I can't seem to be like, okay, I'm narrating. It was like, oh, I should take that. So I may need you to step in and say, hey, high, low, missed it. We haven't changed the state of delivery, right? We're still delivering lower. This is technically the low we want to watch. Yeah. This may even still be in our demand zone. I deleted. It is. This is in the bigger. Remember, we had the bigger pullback inside. We had the smaller pullback inside the bigger pull. Right. So when we're in here, we're looking at this low being held. We created this low, so unless we make a new high somewhere, we're not going to change this state. It looks like it's holding.
No.
Looks like it's holding this flip. Nope, broke the flip. So we created our little change in the state right here with this blue candle. So when we retest said blue candle right here, we can technically hold this internal and come down to our next zone. So I think we're breaking this low now. Yep. What happens when we take a low, we retrace. These are inducement for something in here. There was a flip, lower time frame, right here. Does that make sense? Flip. Because we had this high put in, we pulled back, we made a high to sweep this into the flip. Right, then this chop happened. So if we drop down into lower time frames, we can see, yeah, where that happened. High, low, lower high, we break it, boom. We've already retested inside this order block, but that's creating inducement, so who knows what the next phase of delivery is.
We did touch the 5-minute fair value gap a little bit.
We just did?
Mm-hmm. With the previous candle.
Yeah. Right in there. There is a, let's call it
At 9:15 could be a target.
little balanced price range right there.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's a lot of accumulating. And this should have made a new low.
A nice short.
Hmm?
It could be a nice short. Hmm.
It's a little late. Like, we should have been selling up here, but
Yeah.
for stream's sake,
But somehow, like, if you're looking at 1 minute, I might trust that trend trend line
trust it.
because it's a really cheap trade. If you're wrong, it's well, I guess. Oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, there's no question.
Well, it was a cheap trade. I thought that might have been a nice risk reward.
Mm.
You so.
So here was the low. The high put in. We broke the low. So we just broke this high, but that didn't do what it needed to do, especially with this pullback. So somehow we swept this internal and kept this strong high intact. Oops. And it's Friday. We've already broken through a lot. So we broke
Yeah,
through the
right.
trend. Now we're back. I think if we close below the trend, we take it. I don't know. Not
I
part,
would.
not part of any system I know, but
Still holding above that trend line.
yeah, it looks like we're changing the state, right?
I agree.
Let me see. It just took that out and it left a gap. It's a 15-second. It looks like it could be changing, right? High, low,
Retesting.
high.
Hello.
This needs a wick.
Which could make sense because it might be the wick on the 15 minute that's been created. The 5 is about to be to close.
Now all we have left is for the 1 hour to like follow through.
Yeah.
10 opened up. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have wanted it to come up to here on the 4 hour. It did not. It did not. Oh, make a new low. How about that? Didn't hold. Inducement. So now we got to mitigate this leg. Technically, this leg was mitigated here. Now we got to mitigate this leg. So it's in a good spot on the 5 for sure. We came back basically to the origin flip. Didn't quite make it there. That lower, I guess it's in there, right there. So if we wanted to short, here's a rally-based rally right here. Boom. Into this flip. So the cost would be 7. Doesn't look right. And this thing's just now bullish all of a sudden. Let's see. We do have SMT here with Dow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it would be cool to see this internal strong high swept. There's no wick here, but we need to take this high that delivered that whole crap. And then once we do, because see, this took inducement, so this is the origin flip stuff that we were looking for. Right, that little breaker. 1 entry, 2 entry. Do we get a third? Starting to like slow down when it gets up here. If we can sweep it and come back into here and then hold, that'd be cool. But without a sweep of this high, I'm not feeling good about it. Internal strong high. Oh, I like it. I like it. So we had this high internal.
I just want to go to 92.
¿Qué hora es? It's time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, we can get the bigger mitigation. So we got to get this whole leg. We can hold some false low right here, come up, mitigate this leg into the flip, and then continue down.
Mm.
There's just no reason to take this high right here on the 15. But the leg that it created needs mitigation. So we can point a mitigation in here. Because again, we have kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's take the 5. We have this guy. Delete. Too much stuff. That's internal strong high. That's okay. On the 5 minute, that's just inducement. $50 left in that 5 minute. We kind of OFC'd there though a little bit. We took the high on the internal. Swept it.
Let's see how this closes.
No wick at the bottom.
I don't like that it might close below the previous 5-minute candle.
Yeah, I'd like it below. I like it because I think that's this candle. Yeah. So we're looking for closure above. Five, 4, 3, 2,
1.
Close below.
Yeah. Not by much though.
No, a little bit. Well, this supply could flip and turn demand, right?
Mm.
You know, we had that push right here, that pullback. How far did she go? Look. Swap inducement. Had a pull back. Pull into the flip. all that's happening right at this high. All right. Oh, nice. It's a pretty
New rejection.
Yeah, pretty big rejection there.
Hmm.
Let's see how bearish it is. Do we go from here? We took the inducement on the 5 minute.
Nice.
We didn't do much mitigation of this leg, though, to be fair. Stretch this BPR, see what did it. Yeah.
So it held that tiny little demand.
Mm-hmm. Feels like there's a breaker in here, right? Because we did all this chop. Let's do 30 second.
Oh, nice. Now it's breaking.
Yeah. Or is it? Yeah. That was a nice little buy to sell.
I didn't break the previous low though.
No, it didn't.
So there's no change.
No change, but we're in a range, so like it wouldn't be absurd if we were looking to just scalp the range. We could scalp up, down, up, down, up, down. But it's all chop. Yeah, it snowed here and then it rained. It rained right after the
Did it?
snow. Yeah. That's generally not good, right?
And now it's breaking. Good break. Wow, it is. Oh.
Yeah, I saw this morning Tom Hogart started a channel.
Yeah, I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
He's pretty emotional. You know, was it? What are you talking about?
I didn't actually listen to it.
Oh, okay.
I jumped on to take care of the notifications I had, and when I did, I was like Trader Tom. So I follow him.
Yeah.
'Cause usually he does he'll repost his webinars,
Okay.
which is they're always great value because
Oh yeah, he's great.
he's a good trader. But you saw your take was that he was emotional, or was he just
Yeah, like he was emotional at the end. Something like goodbye or I literally caught the last minute.
oh okay? I saw he had almost 2,000 people watching.
Yeah.
That's That's what happens when you write a really good book.
Yeah, so it sweeps.
Still hasn't come into our demand zone though. It's just in some gap. Like if it came down and put like a wick on this 15-minute candle, we held the origin, but that's asking a lot.
Yes. Wow. Ocean. Nice.
Wow.
Jesus. Didn't expect that.
So was our 11:30 open was here. So there's our 30-minute candle open. I'll just call it 11:30. Burst. Retest the open price into the gap. Unmitigated flip. And that went into the POC really nicely.
Really quick. Yeah. Maybe now it's just going wants to go back down.
What are we going to name that? Let's go. All right. I'm going to hide that stuff. Here we go. So when we open in New York Open and go straight down, we had come into this POC here. We had Asia Open here. Yeah, so we were in this order block. So that, as we're trying to coach up like what these opens mean, they have to have a unique value. So
Right.
the times like 6, 10, midnight, 2, whatever, 6:10. Okay. Those are like 4-hour flips or 4-hour origins.
Right.
So having those open prices show us like where we're coming into a flip or an origin. The true opens are giving us our narrative or bias, and time is, let's see how to describe this. So time is identifying particular order blocks, because at a time something happened that created a premium discount array. It created an order block there. So this lower entry would have been highlighted because this whole candle is the Asia Open order block. Let me just focus on quarterly theory. Right? So our London opened here, created the low, and then we broke that. We've created a time-based order block. Does that make sense? So
Yep.
now we see if we go up one time frame, we see our London Open is this order block. Sweep it, make a new high. We come in and retest it underneath this inducement. We're buying underneath London Open for this quarter. Here we have New York Open at 7:30. We come up into a flip. What happened beforehand? Well, what happened is we swept all this inducement into this origin area here from yesterday's PM. I know it's going to put all the lines back on, but yesterday's PM open here. That makes this whole thing the breaker or order block, right? Because it's time-based. So if we use just the time-based order block, right? We can sell anywhere out of that. I don't think I have that in particular, so we could do sell zone. It's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're following that, this would have been our time-based order block. We could have sold overnight, and New York's always going to be a little bit boomy. So then that's a bigger OB. Gave us our short, but here's where the narrative bias thing plays in, how we can teach it. High time frame over low time frame is indicative of a sell bias or a bearish bias. High time frame under low time frame is indicative of a bullish bias, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right. Here we have the high time frame above the low time frame. We should be buying under here, selling under here. Buying under here, selling over here. So when we opened New York and came up above True Day into a flip after sweeping liquidity, that's a 1, 2, 3 narrative. Boom, 8:30 happens. Well, we weren't a part of that. So let's keep going with narrative. Now we have the True Day open above New York open. All of this should be bearish. It's Friday, like we should be making a wick, but it looks like we're making more body of the candle. Looks like this trade might be going, bro.
Oh, dude.
Anyway, so yeah, that's right. So as we're opening new prices, 10 New York open, we should be able to sell above those levels. New York open didn't give us a chance. I mean, that's just on any of them, we got no chance to buy that. Oh, sorry, sell that. Didn't even come into this whatever gap. It's crazy. The only one that could have given us a little bit of a bump would have been maybe ES, because it gapped up to move down at 10. So it gave us a little gap up that NASDAQ didn't gap up. Call it an SMT? I don't know.
All right.
But I'm curious if we didn't sweep that internal low right there. Okay, wait. Here we are. So New York opens. Nope. I don't think it took it. Wow, maybe by a tick. Hold on.
Okay.
So high was 66.10. High was 66.30. So it did just sweep it. Just sweep it. I don't know how you've seen that. But this is the 5-second chart. So we open, boom, straight down, take it out, create inducement, come back up to this origin flip. So we did get a chance to take that out and to be in that trade on the 5 seconds. So let's, from 9:30 open to our entry, 15 minutes. Oh, 4 minutes, 15 seconds. So 5 minutes after open, if we're watching, you have to build a lot of narrative leading up to that.
For sure. Yeah, to be ready.
Yeah, be ready. Because here, like, we're over here. We swept this high here, and we never broke that high again. And the low that we put in to do so failed. So we held this little sell to buy right here. It gave us another push, fail, break internal, fail, internal POC, 5 seconds, and then boom. Now and then from there, it's game over.
Game
10
over.
o'clock, I don't know, 10 o'clock just drops out of the sky. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, there's maybe a potential reversal now.
Oh, it gave us the whole thing, yeah. So this is the strong high because this was the pullback, swept inducement into the order block, made the new low. So if we break this, this is structure. This is inducement, structure. And then if we take structure, we'll come back in here. There's a breaker plus fair value gap. Yeah, because this buy to sell broke. This was the SNDR, this
Mm-hmm.
SNDR, supply and demand that broke resistance. I don't know, be it SNDR. The last pull up that broke structure. But we're already above that, creating a breaker, low, high, lower, low, higher, high, breaker. Inside that we have an order block and a fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, came all the way to this flip, right? So this was the high that put in the low. So then this is the low that broke that high. So in here is our sell to buy.
Wow, that's pushing.
Well, we got our target though. Look.
Yeah.
And let's see how many points did that give us. 50.4. 50 points. Easy. I mean, it took a long time, but easy enough. Actually, one more. Let's re-engage with that 1130 price. So what do we say about time and price? This put in a low, a higher high, a lower low. So technically, this is our time-based breaker, right? If price was gonna go down, this would have been the breaker, time-based breaker to hold price down. And inside that, we had our V-shape that broke structure. So right now, it looks like price is accumulating above it. It maybe retested it. Now it's going to make higher high. That's how I would have read that.
Target those equal highs at 970.
Yeah. So just
seems like a likely target.
Likely.
And there's a fair value gap above that as well in the 15. Nice. Yeah, it's really going to target those highs. Those are equal high. Yeah.
This would be our zone, right? Let's see. That was the last pullback, and that was the high. So anywhere in there is our supply. While we wait to see what happens up there, we have our breaker.
Oh man, the 15-minute is about to close and it's completely engulfing.
Completely engulfing. Isn't
I love those candles.
Yeah. 1 second, I'm going to use the restroom.
Go, man.
I know you live in Canada and it's no big deal to you, but for me, it's cool.
Oh, I can imagine, man.
So we swept that high, but we did not break the high because that's the internal strong high. That's what matters. And again, we never tested this wick, which was the buy to sell that took out this low. We made equal lows, came up, swept inducement into the flip, broke. This is supply. It didn't make it there. I guess it was enough to just sweep the.
It just entered the 15-minute fair value gap, build it up,
Yeah.
and yeah, seems typical.
Now it's just a matter of whether or not this breaker plus fair value gap holds up.
Yeah, will this hold or not?
Because look, this is the high, right? We were noticing. So this is the pullback. So this is the demand that actually broke structure there. Because technically this mitigated this leg taking out inducement, so there was no reason to come back up above it. It did,
Right.
and it broke structure here. So if this demand doesn't hold, then it's a buy to sell B shape for lower prices.
Right.
But if we look for pullbacks that are in discount, this is inducement. So we need to be inside.
That order block could be interesting there.
Yeah, this one I do like.
It's not been touched.
It's below 50% of the breaker. It's inside this internal.
Right.
This did just wick into discount.
50%, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is inducement for higher. Here's internal POC. Here's our change to break this low right here. So I'm just going to narratively speak for all of these supply and buys. We can assume it's going to go up at least to here. Point of mitigation. It doesn't have to, because if inducement holds, then inducement will create a new origin.
Last minute, last 30 seconds.
I like that it went into the breaker. I like that it hit discount, and I like that it's accumulating at the breaker.
Oof.
We're in the 50-10 macro. Yeah, that's pretty ugly because this is inducement holding.
So you want those lower prices, I assume.
Equal lows, takes the high. Boom. It's a little bit more fun watching the 15 seconds. So long as you can keep an eye on these.
A lot more activity.
Huh?
A lot more activity.
It's active, but it's also like
Yeah.
we have to keep the focus on what that 15-minute is doing, and what that 15-minute just did was dip down into the 15-minute origin down here, right? We
Right.
had the close, the open, the drop down, the high, and then we swept internal and came back to the flip. Which would be right, I think, here. No. There. Okay, so. Oh, I mean, this is the open price. Yeah. That makes sense. So now we definitely need to hold this demand. There's a.
No wick there.
This is the 11 o'clock open. Right here. I like holding that demand. That's good. Created this one. Take this out and then go up.
5 minute didn't have a wick, right? When it went back up.
No. That low is wickless.
Yeah. Question is, what's the likely target before noon? Is it up or down?
Well, if we come up and take out that 5-minute high, and we kind of created a 5-minute overblock. I see this little guy right here.
Yeah.
Nothing's closed above it.
You're right.
This came
Last
close,
minute.
but it didn't close above it. Oh. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it accumulates on you? Bad.
You notice too that on Fridays, like there's the massive movement in the early session, beginning of the session, and then it just tends to kind of like
just fizzle out.
Range, okay?
Yeah, so we get a new.
Because 5 minutes for me, it's in. Starting to be bearish.
You got a bobblehead going on.
Quickly.
She bobbled?
Yeah.
Soon to go take a nap.
All right. Baby. She seems super chills.
She ain't super chills. She's
Hi.
timid.
You're live on YouTube right now in front of 100 million. 100 million watching. Baby. How's it make you feel? Yeah? Seems pretty chill. Where'd mommy go? Look over there. Look over there.
You haven't heard anything from the restaurant?
No, people are sending snow pics is all. We're in our demand zone.
We are. But so late at the session.
Yeah. Fail.
I wouldn't trust it.
Sweepers. You got the hiccups, little boo. Look where it came up. Look at the touch.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect in that supply zone.
Whoa.
Yeah, little baby. Oh, yeah. Baby. You're looking everywhere. Yeah. This is an interesting little zone. What's going on? Oh, yeah, it breaks. It breaks.
It's breaking.
So that's our demand turn supply right there.
Yeah. Last minute. Last 2
Support
minutes.
turn resistance. Oh, baby. Yeah, oh, baby. God bless. God bless. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? What do you think? Hmm? What do you think, babies? Yeah. Push it out, little wee.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sweeping out everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, hey. Turn that face daddy. What are you doing? Oh, no. You don't want to face daddy. You want to face the screens. My hair all over you. Oh, no. Oh, no, we. Yeah. New 15.
New 15, ready?
New
12.
15, new 1H. New
Yep.
session. Yeah, hey, babies. Oh, no. Don't do it to us. Don't do it. Oh, no. Oh. I know. I know.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Day nap time. Hi, sweet girl. Come on. Yeah. Good night, daddy. Good night, daddy. Good
Bye,
night.
babies. That's baby time. Alright, so we still holding this SMT with ES. We're still holding this SMT with Dow. We're still holding.
Holy. Doesn't want to break those lows.
No, this much. I mean, it might not. Well, let's pull up the daily. So we're holding this internal high on the daily. Question is,
oh, now it's breaking.
yeah, hadn't yet.
No, it's still moving.
Dow took the low.
Wow.
Dow took the low. ES hasn't yet. Better. Okay. Alright. So like literally this is the pullback that made the high on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
There's no mitigation here. All that's inducement for here. And this didn't mitigate anything here. So do we assume today we break this low into this zone between here and here?
I would favor that. Okay, now it's breaking, dude.
No, it's going.
3. Yeah. 889.
I wouldn't mind it hitting that. Break or fail. Break or fail. Fail, break. No, we haven't taken out the low.
It's refusing to.
ES has. Yeah, both Dow and ES. Swept. So this low on ES and Dow swept this low. And then now ES and Dow have swept this low. And NASDAQ has not. Or if it did, it was by very little.
Wow. Oh, man. Seriously? Whoa.
On the 1 minute, we have an 8-point stop from there, but it didn't take that high. It swept internal. It's the hard part of seeing through the candles. So there's all this inducement gap breakers.
Yeah.
This leg needs mitigating. Right, that's it, because I know our time is finite. What's going on there? Okay, boom. No. This is
I
the
think when I opened a Take Profits trader account,
TPT.
yeah, start something like fresh as well.
Yeah. So this is not the art, but this is the new map from the worksheet. So I did this whole thing, right, as it's got pre-session, during session, and post-session activities for each day.
Oh, cool.
Right. That's the big core offer. This is 80 pages. Or sorry, 80 days. So then I said, all right, well, 80 days is too long. So now we're going to change this into weeks. So section 1, there's a whole week in section 1. So this is what to expect in our week, our objective, and instructions. I've given visualizations. So this is a visualization, feeling calm amidst market turbulence, and it gives instruction on how to do the visualization, and then the reflection on the visualization. And then we get into day 1, and it's a workbook, right? So it's got space, guides. So here's our instructions for pre-market, emotional awareness and bias. During market, emotional awareness tracker. So we can, each trade's got little bumps. And then post-market, end-of-day emotional reflection, we have a workspace for that. So then day 2 triggers. Day 3 is mapping emotional triggers and market news integration. And then post. And then day 4, recognizing patterns of hesitation and overconfidence. Same thing, pre-market post. Day 5, pre-market post. And then we have a wrap-up. So my notes, what we should have learned this week, and a visualization practice.
Oh, cool.
So then we go into section 2, accepting the shadow, key emotional control, objectives, and we get into pre-market, post, during, and post. Day 2, day 3, day 4. And right here, I think it's day 4. I haven't made it to section 2, day 5. And then on the weekend is where we'll do our reflection, what we should have learned, and then a new visualization. And I think, let me try this. This is in the wrong place. Boom. In here, I have the scaffolding. I'm going to go, let's...
Workflow, emotional patterns, working.
Here, but no day. All right. All right, so then when it's done with day 5, I'll pull it over, and then we'll pull over the weekend, and then I'm going to show you the whole structure, because this is off. I'll have to remind it, like, hey, let's start this again and give me our original program so I can start all this noise over. Because it started like printing stuff in the middle and then over here, and I'm like, what are you doing? that seems fine. During okay, 5, okay. I gotta do a lot of editing, but I want to try to get through this so I can at least get to the point. Now it's in here instead of like, it's really weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it does weird stuff. So let's go boop, 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 boop. Wait, what is this? Mess that up. Do it here. Oh, cool. There it is.
Oh, wait.
Oh my God. Did it wrong. So, boom. Did we have workbook space on it here? No. Okay, good. As we transition from section 2 into section 3, take a moment to reflect on the powerful work you've done so far in the last 2 weeks. Stop it. You've gone beyond just recognizing your shadow. You've begun to encourage the process. You've begun the courageous process of accepting it. You've learned how to sit with your emotions, resist less, and lean into the discomfort of imperfection. This is a profound step toward mastery, not just as a trader, but as a person. You should have learned, boom, 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 looking ahead into that. And then here's our creation shadow strength. Subjective, visualize the traits you once resisted and transform into assets for trading. Close your eyes. Imagine standing in a workshop. Around you are tools. Each one represents a shadow trait that you've begun to accept: fear, overconfidence, hesitation, ambition. Pick up one tool. Feel its weight in your hands. Notice how, even though you... Huh? Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good, right? So...
It's really good. Yeah.
So then we have our... Boom. No, bang. Copy that. We can come over here. No. All the way down. Beep. And then we have our... introduction to section 3. Anyway, so blah blah blah, and then what I'll do, because I wanted to show you, this is the whole point of having done that. I'm just going to do it over here. I wanted to do it over there. I like this, understanding the trader's blind spot. Section 2, accepting the shadow, the key to emotional control. Section 3, integrating the shadow, turning weaknesses into strength. Shadow work in relationships, the market and beyond. The shadow and identity, redefining the trader within. Trading with purpose, shadow work as a gateway to freedom. So 6 weeks, 5 days, 6 weekends with recap and visualizations. So is that more in line with?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's a lot more doable.
All right. I mean, I'm trying to listen and be open-minded and take in information and say, okay, so 80 days is too long. The only reason I did 80 days was because the Dow is 80 days. And I thought, you know, we could say, hey, we're going to do, you know, a Dow verse, and we're going to work on our shadow. Dow verse, shadow. Dow verse, shadow.
Right.
So what's cool, I had this thought while I was sleeping. Inside emotional awareness, no, wait, inside shadow work guide, I want to change this view to give me the thumbnails. And then over here, what's this? This is the book. Okay, this is the book. So when we get into, that's section 2. I'm looking for a blank page. Here we go. Section 3. Embodying your edge, turning your inner mastery into consistent results. So section 3 and 4 kind of turned into how to use your shadow to create an edge. So building the habits of a consistent trader. This talks about tracking and commitments, creating your morning ritual, commit to a post-trade routine, right? It's giving you steps and then a visualization. Day 2, executing decisively. It's asking you to spot your hesitation, the confidence. Some of these are really good, but it starts to get a little intuition, reframe, post-market, right? And then another visualization. I like the visualizations and the outcomes each day. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what you just saw and add it to this. Because we have, each day has our perspective and our like a little bit bigger exercises, so I'll figure that out. But as we see, we're starting to resilience during long trading streaks. So like long losses, long wins, how to get over those things. And then we move in day 20. So again, we got 10 days in each section. So balancing trading with life's demands. And I'm going to try to find cultivating gratitude.
Alien, I think your mic is starting to break. Maybe it's the internet.
Could be internet. She just turned the TV on. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Or are you still live on the YouTube?
Yeah. You want me to close it?
Maybe we should just turn it off. Yeah, it's taking a lot of bandwidth.
Let's stop it. I think we do that. I don't have a widget. All right. Hey, we're signing off. We had a great day. You guys learned something about what's coming. You're learning about what's coming. We're going to introduce some new